Welcome. Kai Soredabagasareni Namagakesi. Such an honor to be here with you. Soredabagasareni Namagakesi. So today we'll be talking about the authentic journey. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels safe. Not just gazing at one point right in front of you. Let's open up the space. So let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale. And exhale. Beginning to tap into your body, into your breath, into the heart space, into the womb or the hara. Welcoming all that you are, all that you're becoming, all that you will ever be, all of you. Through the beautiful breath, just accepting that this moment in time, this is how you are, this is how you feel. And then it is shifting as well with every breath. So te pakia me kaiko saretia ne maike sita kainaki. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose and hold the breath. Receiving you, receiving you. Whenever you're ready, exhale. Beautiful. Feel free to just move your body a little bit so now that you're more present. Maybe stretching sometimes this feels really good after opening up the space, or maybe stillness, whatever it is for you. So welcome. I'm so honored. If we haven't met, this is our first time. I'm Rukmani. I'm a heart alchemist, and it's a joy to be here with you. This journey of authentic self is such a powerful one, honestly, and it's something that it continues to shift, okay? It continues to shift. So let's get out of the idea that it's got to look one way, right? It's got to look one way and it's got to be this way. And in reality, sometimes we don't even know how it will look like. It might look like something that you actually thought that's how it's going to look like. And then it completely shifts into something that was like, what? I wasn't even thinking that. I couldn't even imagine that. And so, of course, I'm going to give you my reality so then you can really get a perspective. I find that sharing our stories is so powerful. It heals the self, it heals you as well. And it opens up this beautiful space of connectivity that we already have. It's just sometimes maybe be a little blocked or a little cloudy. That's what I like to call it. All the clouds around, and we're not able to really tap into it or see it. So what I want to share is that, as I was saying, these things shift, the authentic journey. I honestly, years ago, I wasn't even thinking about that I'll be a heart alchemist. Like, first of all, like I would have laughed so hard because I'd be like, what? This is honestly what my previous self would have said. I don't even love myself. What do you mean, like, heart alchemist? Because it was a deep journey, honestly, deep journey. And through this journey, I've actually had different quote unquote titles, right? What I used to call myself. Sometimes I wouldn't even know. I don't even know what to call me. I wouldn't even know it to call myself my name. It's just like, I'm not just that. So rather than allowing my head to take over, because at times it can give so much headache, honestly, to think about all these things, I just surrendered to my heart space. And it took me into this journey of such a deep authenticity that, of course, it wasn't very easy at the beginning. No, it was not. I was fighting so hard when my soul wanted and desired, when my soul really was trying to tell me, and I was literally covering up my ears, like, I'm not listening, blah, 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 blah. Like if you've ever done that as a kid, of somebody doing it, right? And it's just being like that little inner child, like, nope, okay, whatever. But then I just got into this flow of, this is what I do. This is what I came here to do. And I'm honoring that. And like I said, it continues to shift. At the beginning, when I entered this journey, and some of you that have been tapping into the podcast for so long, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. of course, like part of my story, right? What I have shared. And there's so much more depth than what I can share because it's something, sometimes experiences, explaining them or sharing them through words. Yes, somebody else can get a sense of like what really happened, but you can't really know what really happened unless you have experienced something similar, So much darkness that I experienced, so much darkness. And I wasn't searching to become, like I said, this heart alchemist. I wasn't searching to become this energy worker of this like women's support system or doing women's work. I was searching for something more than suffering. That's literally what I was searching for. My journey of authenticity began with that. I was suffering so much internally that I was like, yo, there's gotta be something else than suffering in life. And I've said this many, many times, but that was a big opening for my own authentic journey. And it did. And it took me little by little into different kind of steps, Synchronicities became and merged. And it's something because I couldn't listen to the messages within myself. I was too clouded. There was too many things happening inside and they were all shaky. And I didn't know how to pay attention to that. So everything became in the outside world. Synchronicities just went like bloop, 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 here, have this. And I'm like, okay, I didn't even know that there was such thing as synchronicity, honestly. But I was just like, okay, I'm going to follow it. I didn't know what receiving messages was. But then it was just like, okay, this thing keeps popping up. I didn't know about this thing. If you're watching the video, my neck cracking and my vertebrae coming back to its neutral state. I didn't know about anything about the world that I'm in right now, this field. I had no idea, you guys, no idea. Yet I follow, this things that kept coming to me. I'm like, okay, I'll try it out. And it became this journey one more time, like honestly surviving. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to survive. And I was curious about what else is there in life besides suffering. Because I was in such a deep internal pain. And I had no idea. Honestly, I had no idea I was in such a deep emotional pain, like internally. I felt the pain. And I was like, I don't know, I knew I was depressed. I knew I was suicidal. But then I had no idea about anything else in the world. It was very dark. And of course, at times I will find moments where I'll find really deep joy and love. And those were the moments I was like, okay, can I hold on into this moment so they can take me somewhere else? And this is why I completely abused the medicine of cannabis, because it showed me something different. It showed me something different than my own suffering. And I knew deep inside that I was something so much bigger than I could actually tap into it at that moment. And I embraced it. I embraced it. So the journey again was from being in such a dark space, my authentic journey. So this journey, right, it was very dark. And now I totally understand studying astrology to my degree, of course. Thank you, Sister Deborah Silverman. I deeply love you. You're so awesome. So wise, so wise. Totally OG. From having my rising sun, my ascendant sign in Scorpio, right? It goes so deep. And really embracing all the darkness from like my childhood, my teenage years, my young adult, and coming into the space of enough, like something must shift. What else is there that I can tap into? And then it shifted. And it was still dark, the authentic journey was still dark inside. Goodness, inside was shitty. Let me tell you, inside was so shitty and painful and confusing. And it's like, what the fuck? Literally, that's how it was. Like, I don't even know what you want. What do you mean? And it's just like, and then slowly it went away from the confusion, you know? So it didn't just, let me change my words, because it wasn't like it went away from the confusion, okay? I just learned to understand more my needs, like my internal needs, you know, like what my being needed. Okay, it needs less of this, it needs less of this. And it was so perfect how everything just correlated. And the people that were not meant to be in my life began to just like disappear in a way. And it was so hard to witness that too, because I didn't enjoy being just with myself. Every time I'd be by myself, I'll distract myself because it was too much to handle, to feel my own emotions. Yeah. The darkness, right? The darkness. Little by little, I embraced that. Little by little, it's like, I gotta sit with this shit. I didn't really like, nobody showed me how, you know, it was something that I just embraced, and I remember how to hold space for myself. And I realized it's okay. It's normal to cry. It's normal to feel angry. It's normal to feel confused. It's normal to have no idea what the fuck is going on. And it's normal to just be like, whoa, whoa. Literally, sometimes not even words, you know? If you have ever had those experiences that just something happens and you're just like holding your head and not even knowing how to say an expression because it's just too much. It's too much. And that has been, you know, like part of my authentic journey. So again, went from like deep chaos, really, really deep and dark chaos, to somewhat going, if you can see, okay, the colors, right? Because this is what I'm seeing right now in me as I'm sharing this. Starting for like super, super dark black. My authentic journey was super black dark, was like in front. But every once in a while, like some color will shine through. And then moving it from really deep black to maybe intermediate black, and going down the hues, right, into gray, and into medium gray, into light gray, and then allowing all the full colors of like the whole color wheel to be expressed, right? And now being into that wheel, the color wheel of like letting any expression come through, and that's okay, and embracing that, and that's so good, you know, that's so good. But it's not like I was always in this like wheel per se of all the colors and just like, oh yes, yellow is coming through, and then black, and then blue, you know, and just being like super okay with that. No, no, it was really freaking challenging to go through that deep spectrum of black and all the darkness to come into where I am, right? And so it doesn't mean that now my authentic journey is going to stay in this color wheel. I don't know. I don't know, you know? It's not like yes, I see things and I have visions, I receive visions and messages and whatever. But even so, it's like I have no idea what version of myself I will be tomorrow. I don't have any idea what version of myself I will be in a year. I mean, there's massive transformation that happens in a year. All I know is that at this moment in time, this is my authentic self. This is my authentic journey. How does that look like? It looks like there's sometimes I'm literally seeing splashes of color everywhere. If you can put a canvas in front of you and this, you know, when I feel joyful, there's this color. When I feel sad, there's this color. When I feel rage, there's this color. And it's just like making this beautiful painting out of how I feel, and that's okay. And seeing the celebration through this painting in front of me, and then admiring, taking a step back and be like, wow, this is what I do. This is what I create. This is how I show up. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing. And again, it's not like I was searching to be who I am right now. Perhaps that part that is super aware knew, and I deeply believe in that, like my highest self knew. But the conscious human being that it was experiencing such deep darkness had no idea. Again, I wanted to survive. I wanted to live. It literally for me became life or death, like like I've shared before. And I'm sharing this. The reason why I continuously share how deep and dark my life was and how massively suicidal I was is because so then you can actually feel that if you're going through something like that, whether it's like 1%, okay, you know that you can also open up that within yourself to deeply, deeply be in love with you, with who you are, and accept it, okay? And accept it. This is why I do the work that I do. This is why I do the work that I do. How many people out there are experiencing something similar to some kind of degree of what I felt 10 years ago? And the fact that I know that is true in some kind of shape or form, it hurts. It hurts so much because I know how much that sucked for me. I know how much pain I had and I felt inside of me to the point that I didn't want to feel anymore and I wanted to commit suicide. I know how that felt like for me and it did not feel very good at all. At all. So I feel so much compassion, and I feel deeply, deeply that space in others because I went in that in me, because I experienced that in myself. So the whole purpose of my work is for you to have this big awareness or to feel something as I'm sharing, as I'm expressing, as you maybe hear the light language or see me, that you can also experience the opposite side of the coin of your being and then go back into centeredness. That darkness can take you so much into your power and your authenticity. And it's not something easy to maneuver through. It really isn't. I spent 2.5 years in deep depression. 1 year, I was massively, massively suicidal. I had to make little bracelets to say some words in French and one word in Spanish that was abuelita, which means grandma. So then I would look at it every time I had those thoughts. And let me tell you that, like, it wasn't just like every second I had those thoughts. Every milli fucking second I had those thoughts. And I would just be like, okay, breathe. Okay, breathe. You're here, you know, life, whatever. It wasn't easy. Can you imagine when somebody's in that state and all the energy that is taken to get out of your head and look at those messages from your bracelets and be like, okay, breathe. Okay, abuelita. Okay, breathe. Okay, I'm fine. I'm alive. Okay, okay. You know, I mean, it takes so much fucking energy, especially when like everything in you is just like, all right, you just peace out, you know? It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to do that. So this is why I also know my power and my strength, because I had the power to choose me in those moments. And I deeply believe that we all do too. And only in one person can create that shift in you by sharing their story. This is why I continuously share this. So that maybe somebody out there can hear it, so you can hear it and know you can do it too. You can do it too. And you can tap into your power, which will take you into this beautiful, authentic journey to be perhaps some kind of version of yourself, like of the work that I do. Who knows, you know? Who knows? Who knows? So this is my deep desire for you, my really deep desire for all of you, whether you suffer a little bit of anxiety or depression or whatever, you know, something like maybe similar or not to my journey. You're here alive. And the reason why you're going through all the shit, or you went through all the shit that you went through, was to tap into your authentic self and into your power and alchemize that energy and come through rebirth. That's literally spiritual awakening, the rebirth through your own shadows, like the phoenix rising from your own ashes. And this is what we constantly do in some kind of degree, you know? So it changes. Maybe at this moment in time, your authentic journey is in that darkness. That doesn't mean that it's going to be there the whole time. If you allow it to be a guide, Or maybe you need some guidance by somebody else. Maybe you're a little different than me, and that's okay. So allowing and giving yourself permission to say, I need help. I need help. I know exactly when I need help. I'm extremely me, and I'm telling you from honest experience, I'm extremely good at holding space for myself. Most of the time, probably 98.5% of the time, I don't need help at all. I don't need somebody to hold space for me. But the other 1.5%, I know exactly when to. And I know I need help, and I know who to ask. And if I have no idea who to ask, then I ask my sisters or my brothers to be like, this is happening. Do you know somebody? Simple. Because again, I know based on my experience, right, what I need, what I can provide for myself, and what I'm still learning to provide for myself. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I might be able to see everything that is happening inside of me. And maybe there's a point where I don't understand. I don't know how to maneuver through that. And then I humble myself even more and be like, okay, I need some help. Send me my teacher. And it always happens, you guys. It always happens. That's a beautiful thing about life. It always happens. So again, the authentic journey is not like you will constantly be this being that you're being right now. You will constantly experience what you're experiencing right now. Well, it could be in a way somewhat constant if you fight it. But then when you allow yourself to be in just literally saying, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel shitty. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel anger. It's okay to feel bliss. It's okay to feel silly. You know, all these spectrums of the human. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So when you give yourself permission to experience all of it, then you will know your authentic self does not just look like A, does not just look like B, does not just look like C. It literally looks like a mixture of all of them in the most complex way. In the most complex way. So let me tell you about my authentic self right now. So my authentic self right now, yes, I'm a heart alchemist. I'm a channeler, right? I hold space for women. So I'm a mentor. I'm a guide for women. I'm also a girlfriend. I'm also a mom of Zeus. I'm also a sister. I'm also a daughter. I'm also life. I'm also the mother. I'm also the elements. I'm also an inner child. Like there's this little girl that wants to be silly all the time. I'm also a painter, a singer, a dancer. You know what I mean? There's like so many little aspects of you that become this beautiful painting, going back into that painting, right? So who knows, like 10% of this, and then 1% of that, and then 20% of this, and that percentage continues to change throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, and I'm okay with that. I'm so okay with that. It doesn't stay stagnant. Staying stagnant means there's no growth. It's like we're fighting growth, and then it's becomes so painful. It just shifts and it shifts, and we have to be okay with that, you know. And sometimes maybe we're not okay. Maybe it's like, this is a really shitty situation that's happening. What the fuck, you know? And that's okay. It's okay to feel that as well, and honoring that in you. Yes, I feel angry right now. I'm honoring that in me. Maybe at this moment I'm not able to see something different, and that's okay. That's okay. Maybe the next day you'll be like, oh, now that makes sense. Okay, I get it now. So, and then you're no longer angry, right? And also accepting how your journey is so shifting. For the longest time, I was so afraid to say that I have the gift of sight, that I can travel inwards in my own infinite being and see what's happening, hear the messages, and see, you know, what you needed to tell me or needed to show me. And then as I was walking Zeus today, our puppy, during our morning walk, super slow, by the way, because I'm still integrating many things. Thank you, Lionsgate Portal, so grateful. And I realized that That's my authentic journey. That's my authenticity. Part of my authenticity is the fact that I see that. Is the fact that I can understand how energy speaks. And if somebody thinks that that's freaking crazy, that's their authentic journey. That's cool. Okay, for you, that's really crazy. I can totally get that. For me, that's norm, and it's beautiful. And I accept that about me. I accept that perhaps maybe there is, who knows, 10% of women that can do this and brothers too. And I'm part of them. I can totally accept that. And I'm being okay with that. And why am I okay with that? As I'm cracking and look so weird in the screen. Why am I okay with that? Because it's me. Because this is my experience. And because that experience saved me. That experience helped me to work through all the shadow work that I had to walk through and work through in order to be where I am, to hold space for others. Had I not had that, I don't know how I would have done it. And I honor that part of me. You know, that's the alchemist. That's the alchemist that is always there, but sometimes it pops in and sometimes it goes back in. And then there's the inner child that comes in and goes like, hey, let's go play. And then there's also the mother that comes in and is like, let's take care of our baby. And then there comes in, you know, like the partner and all these things. So like, imagine like, wow, what concoction of like powerful energies you are. That once in a while, one is like, hey, here we go. I want to play. And then you're like, okay, you know? And then it goes back and now it's work time. It's time to hold space. The alchemist, here it is the alchemist. That doesn't mean the other ones are sleeping behind. The other ones are still, you know, helping the alchemist to be in front, to lead the show in a way, right? The same thing when the alchemist is inside and the inner child is right here. That doesn't mean the inner child is not an alchemist. It just means that the inner child just wants to play a little bit more and find its way or her way, you know, but it's still supported by the alchemist, and the energy of the alchemist is still within the inner child. Or maybe the mother, right? Goodness, mothers are deep alchemists. So embracing all that you are. And you know, like I'm talking about all these aspects of me, and maybe there's many aspects of me that I haven't really tapped into deeply. Yes, I welcome them, you know? I welcome them, I embrace them. It's as simple as it, I welcome all of me. And I love all of me, all my authentic selves. That again, they continue to shift, right? Because this alchemist is here present. And who knows, maybe tomorrow something deeper will awaken within her. And then the work will shift. My work has been shifted in the past like 5 years. And even beyond that. The same thing with you. It's the same thing with you. Knowing that your authentic self is composed by many different versions of you that are all authentic, and they're all also merging and they're growing. So embracing all of it and knowing that, again, as they're growing, they will be a little different tomorrow, in a week, in a month, next year. And then you will see the growth. You will see the growth as you tap into them, as you welcome them. And embrace them all that is, all that is. To know that your authentic journey at this moment looks like this, right? But then tomorrow will look like something else different. And then you have the power within yourself to embrace it all. To embrace it all. So this is my authentic self, cracking. The vertebra actually going back to center, the energy moving because of being more authentic. See, did you notice that it happened in my throat if you're watching the video? Because I'm expressive, my authentic self. And the more I express my authentic self, the more my throat opens up. The more that I let go of stories It told me to keep that in, that it was not safe to let that come out. And it's not just something that is happening in the throat, but it's happening in all of me. It's happening in my heart. I'm embracing myself as I am. It's happening in my solar plexus. This is who I am. It's happening in my womb, as is like the throat and the womb are deeply connected. It's like, yes, we can create deeper from this space. Acceptance, self-acceptance. It's happening on my roots, connecting deeper to everything that came before me, all my ancestors, the earth, that is a deep alchemist too. My third eye, as this is opening up, so my third eye, and same thing with the crown. Not being scared of embracing me. This is who I am. This is who I am, what I am in this moment in time. That it might change tomorrow. The same thing with you. Embracing your authentic journey that is constantly shifting for the greatest good of you and all. I deeply love you. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.